Hey guys, Sarfaraz Khan here. In the past 2 years, we must have come to know what is the meaning of a lockdown and what is the purpose of it. To protect people from something. By that way, a lockdown was imposed to protect us from COVID-19. Okay, fine. But in the year 1968, a lockdown was imposed in the state of Northern California just because of one person. To protect the people from just one man. Who was he? He was an unidentified American serial killer. He called himself the Zodiac Killer. He claimed to have murdered 37 people approximately. Who is this guy? What is his intention? What made him so dangerous? Was he ever arrested? This video is going to have a lot of answers for you. Make sure you don't skip this video and watch it till the end because you're gonna miss tons of information if you skip this video. Before we get into this video, if you're coming here for the first time and you're looking for ways to become the best ever version of yourself and gain amazing levels of knowledge, you have come to the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for new videos every week, and without wasting any more time, let's get into the video right now. Lake Herman Road is a remote place in California. This was the first ever place where the Zodiac Killer murdered two high school students, Betty Lou Jensen and David Arthur. Let's look into the facts. December 20, 1968, 10:15 p.m. So just like all the high school students are excited to go to a party, Betty and David were returning from a party. So after a long drive, they decided to stop at a particular point. At that time, they noticed that a car was coming beside them and being parked over there. It was a very mysterious person and his face was completely hidden. And soon after this, they were at a point of a gun. The mysterious man demanded these two students to come out of the car. And this is where things go wrong. Even before David was fully out of the car, he was shot in the head. Now Betty was terrified. She tried to escape from the car, but she was shot in the back 5 to 10 times. That is why her body was found 20 feet away from the car, just because she tried to escape. So after killing two people, the mysterious man went away. From this, we can understand that the Zodiac Killer has made his first set of murders. Unfortunately, a party which started very jovially ended up in a very big tragedy for these two people. There is a small similarity between Lake Herman murders and Blue Rock murders. The distance between these two places is only 6 kilometers and it happened exactly after 6 months. Let's look into the facts. July 4, 1969. This time, the victims were Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mago. What happened was, this couple were sitting in a car and talking. But soon after some time, Darlene noticed that a car was approaching their area, but it immediately left. But after 10 minutes, the car came back again and it was parked beside them. No doubt it was the same person, it was the same car. And guess what? The Zodiac Killer was there. This time for a small change, before shooting these two people, the Zodiac Killer flashed a torchlight in front of their eyes so that they couldn't see him in the darkness. And guess what happened next? He shot them 5 or 10 times and he decided to leave. But after he started walking away from the car, he heard sounds of pain. Darlene was moaning back there in pain. He was not satisfied, he went back to the car and shot Darlene again 2 times. And then he left the area. While being taken to the hospital, Darlene was considered to be dead. But very fortunately, Michael was alive even after being shot in the neck, chest and face. And also very surprisingly, he was able to describe the characteristics of the murderer. He was able to spot all the appearances during the witness. Now it is time for us to think how the Zodiac Killer looked like. What do you think he would look like? Big, tall, bulky, like a beast? Let's look into Michael's words. According to Michael's view, just before being shot, the killer was described as a 26 to 30-year-old male, 88 to 91 kgs, 5 foot 8 inch height, with short light brown curly hair. That's how he was believed to look like. But there is something more and more crazy the Zodiac Killer did after this incident. He himself called the police and accepted that he did the 2 murders. And he also challenged the police officers to find him. How interesting is that? Let's see what happened next. August 1, 1969. It was a very usual day. Vallejo Times Herald, San Francisco Chronicle and San Francisco Examiner. These 3 were very famous newspaper offices. While they were working very usually, they received 3 letters, each letter to 3 different offices. But all the 3 letters were identical. Who would have written this letter? No doubt the Zodiac Killer wrote this. So what would a letter to the newspaper office contain usually? A request or a permission or an advertisement and things of the like. But this letter was very different. It had a 408 symbol cryptogram which was written by the Zodiac Killer himself. The police and the newspaper officers were very confused. What was he trying to say? And also, he added one more information in that letter. If this letter was not published in the front page of the newspapers the next day, he would start killing more and more people. The officers were terrified. They didn't know what to do. And they were left with no other choice. To protect the interests of the people and the lives of the people, they decided to publish the letter. And just like it was said in the letter, Zodiac Killer was silent, just for a few days. But 1 week later, after the letters were published, the cryptogram was solved by a couple, Donald and Betty Harden. The information in the cryptogram revealed how much of a sadistic person the Zodiac Killer was. Let's look into it. I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest, because man is the most dangerous animal of all. When I die, I will be reborn in paradise, and all I have killed will become my slaves. I will not give you my name because you will try to slow me down of collecting my slaves for my afterlife. The most important part of this letter, the final 18 symbols, were not able to be identified. It was September 27, 1969. The first murder of the Zodiac Killer consisted of school students. Now it was college students, Brian and Cecilia. While these two people were sitting and talking beside the lake, Cecilia noticed that a mysterious man was approaching them right from the forest. And soon after a few minutes, they were in the point of a gun. Brian and Cecilia thought that it was going to be a robbery. But we definitely know that the Zodiac Killer is not a robber. He had 4 things in his hand: 2 ropes, a big knife and a gun. He demanded Cecilia to tie Brian by his hands and legs, and she was demanded to kneel down after she tied him. But the Zodiac Killer turned out to be very smart. He noticed that Cecilia did not tie Brian properly. His hands and legs were still loose. He tied them properly and tied Cecilia as well. So this is where things get very rude and rigorous. He pushed both of them down, pulled out a big knife and started to stab them 5 or 10 times in the back. Screams of pain were heard all over the lake, but none came to their rescue. After killing both of them, he left. While being taken to the hospital, Cecilia was dead, but Brian was alive and he was able to identify the killer. He was looking something like this. This time he was all covered up. He did not reveal his face. Soon after, when the police arrived to the crime scene, Brian's car was parked over there. In that car, there were some writings. Definitely it was written by the Zodiac Killer. So what did he write? The dates of the first 2 murders accurately, and the murder which he committed moments ago by knife. So there is something more important over here. Did you see that symbol over there? This looks like a target of a gun. This is the symbol of the Zodiac Killer. All his cryptograms, all his letters would contain this symbol. This was the incident where the Zodiac Killer was almost caught by the police, but due to a very simple negligence, he would have gone missing again. And this was also the incident where Zodiac Killer's face was revealed by the police. So for all these murders and all these days, his face was covered. Now it is exposed. October 11, 1969. It was around 10 p.m. Paul Stein was a cab driver carrying out his usual duties. At that time, an unidentified white male entered the car. And within few minutes of driving, the man shot Paul Stein in the head. No doubt it was the Zodiac Killer. On hearing the gunshot, 3 teenagers from the neighborhood rushed to the zone where the Zodiac Killer was just walking away from the car, but they didn't know he committed the crime. But they managed to notice him very clearly. On the other side, upon hearing the sound, 2 police officers also came to the spot, and they also saw the man walking past them. They were hearing the information that the crime was committed by a black male. They only saw a white male passing by, so they left him without any questions. And when they searched the area, there was no black people over there. And only after reaching the police station, the negligence was found out. They said it was a white male who committed the crime, but it was misinterpreted as a black male. The 2 police officers were devastated. They saw the man himself walking past them. It was a white male. They saw the Zodiac Killer himself, and he just went past them. How could this happen? The 2 police officers were very confused. After this incident, a letter was received by the San Francisco Examiner, starting with the words, "Dear editor, this is the Zodiac speaking." This was the first time he had used his name for identification. Also, he accepted that he was the person who killed Paul Stein. So here comes the most interesting part. There would be something missing in this incident, right? The 5 people who saw the Zodiac Killer actually. The 3 teenagers and 2 police officers. The 5 people were separated. 3 teenagers on the one side and 2 police officers on the other side, with 2 separate artists. And guess what? When the final drawings of both of the witnesses were compared, it was very identical. So that means they both saw the same person, they both saw the Zodiac Killer with their eyes. But due to a simple color negligence, he escaped again. And this is what the Zodiac Killer looked like. The picture was put upon all the newspapers and it was sent to the whole of America. People started to tremble and decided to stay in their homes. The police started their extensive search. What do you think would have happened after this? Do you think the Zodiac Killer would not know this, that his face is outside in all the newspapers? He would definitely know. So what happened after this? Did he kill any more people? Or did he write any letters to the police? Was he ever arrested or found again? The one thing which happened, there were a lot of suspects, but they were not able to identify the original Zodiac Killer. And before ending this video, let me tell you something. Till now, till date, the Zodiac Killer's identity is concealed. He still remains missing. Is he alive or dead? The time has passed, but what is the answer? This is one of America's unsolved mysteries. To know more information about the Zodiac Killer, stay tuned for part 2 of this video. I know I could have told all the facts over here, but it would be very difficult for you to understand. That is why I decided to separate the facts and the findings. The part 2 of this video will be out next week, so stay tuned. I know I'm leaving you with a lot of questions, but soon I will be answering all of the questions in the next video. So that's it for today, guys. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and drop your comments down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for new videos every week. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing.